everybody, we are going to talk about the movie Slaughterhouse Rulez. This is a 2018 movie. IMDb gives it a 5.2 out of 10. It is a British boarding school turns into a battleground when unspeakable horrors emerge from the ground. Margot Robbie is in it, you know, Harley Quinn. She plays Audrey. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. And then there was another gentleman named Michael Sheen. I tried to look on his IMDb. I don't know why my nose is itching. I'm sorry. I couldn't really place... I recognize him, but I couldn't really place him, and I forgot to look him up on here. But he looks familiar, especially if you're more familiar with, like, British movies. It starts off with a wonderful 70-ish introduction film to the school. And then you get a wonderful family photo. If you watch the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. They include everybody, we'll say that. This film almost gives me Harry Potter vibes. It's almost like, except without the magic, but it gives you like a Harry Potter-ish, maybe just because it's like a British boarding school and that's basically like Harry Potter was. I'm not sure why it really kind of gave me those vibes, so it really does kind of give me those vibes. But I've never been to a British boarding school, so they might all be that way for all I know. The school has different houses, so I don't know if that is normal, but that's kind of like each school has a different house, kind of like Harry Potter. There's one guy that really resembles, what was his name, Draco, I think, the guy with the white hair in Harry Potter, and he's kind of the bully. And he's kind of, whoo. Well, not Draco, but the guy in the movie. There's a fracking plant nearby the school in the woods. And when they start the fracking, they tell the kids not to go in the woods. And of course, well, first one of the teachers finds the plant. Of course, Simon Pegg. He finds it in a jug and, excuse me. And this worm appears. I'm start sweating and getting a dry mouth. And Simon Pegg finds the plant. He doesn't realize how close it really is to the school. I don't know if it was technically on school grounds or if it's right on the outskirts, but it's like right in the woods, right next to the school. So it's really not far. They can walk to this. It's not that far. And there might have been other references in this movie, but the only one I really caught onto this was The Freaks. If you don't know what that is a 1932 movie. You'll probably best know it by One of Us, One of Us. They use that phrase that's really probably the most famous part of the whole movie that I'm aware of anyway. I have not seen that movie, but I know it because of that phrase. They do the one of us thing in this movie. I thought that was kind of neat. Most of the students leave for the weekend, leaving only a few behind. Margot Robbie is Simon Pegg's, is it his girlfriend or his ex or maybe his wife? I'm not quite sure. She's connected to Simon Pegg and he's like madly in love with her. And she's really not in the movie a whole lot, except when Simon Pegg does like video calls to her because she's somewhere else. And so she's not even like in the area of the school. He's basically video calls her from wherever. But she is in the movie. She just doesn't have a huge part in it. The fracking lets the monsters loose. It doesn't really start getting really good. Because it's mainly kind of like a schoolhouse, like bullying type thing until, you know, with the different houses until the monsters get let loose. Once the monsters get let loose, that's when it starts to really get good. The flames, if you have like a lighter or there's a flame nearby, the flames will turn green when the monsters are nearby. So it's a good way to detect when they're nearby. This movie is bloody and the monsters are CGI, but they're not bad. I think there might have been maybe 1 or 2 practical monsters, but for the most part they're CGI, but they're not bad CGI. There is a mad like crazy Rambo type, like the Draco, we'll call him Draco, that's not his name in the film. I forget what his name in the film is, but he's like a mad crazy Rambo type. There's a Greek type free-for-all, kind of like what most colleges might have, but a little bit more crazy maybe. I don't know. There's a big toga party that's kind of freaky. There's monsters in this. It's bloody, Harry Potter vibes. This movie gets hated on by people, and I don't really know why. It's actually pretty enjoyable. It is on Hulu if you have Stars. You do have to have the Stars part, or if you just have Stars with your normal cable package, then you can watch this movie streaming. I did not look to see if it was anywhere else. I give this movie a 7 out of 10. I really like this movie. This is actually the second time I've seen this movie, and I really enjoy it. And it does have a lot of funny parts in it. Some of it is kind of a British comedy, so you have to maybe if you really enjoy like Simon Pegg's films, kind of like Shaun of the Dead and oh my god, I'm going blank. Shaun of the Dead and World's End and stuff like that. You might enjoy it better. It's not as good as those films, but it's still pretty good. I like all those films, all three of it's technically a trilogy, and it's kind of a trilogy, but not, there's a whole thing about that with the different ice cream cones and not, but it's Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and World's End, or At World's End. I don't know, there's 2 movies that's named similar, and I get them mixed up sometime, but it's either I think it's World's End. World's End is hilarious, by the way, if you have not seen that movie. There's one line on it, I think it was hilarious, like, go back to Legoland or something like that. I don't remember the exact phrase, but Simon Pegg says that, and it's freaking hilarious. But anyway, Slaughterhouse Rulez is pretty entertaining. I liked it. I was able to watch it twice and still enjoy it. So yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Again, like I said, it's on Hulu with Stars, so I don't know if you could find it anywhere else. I didn't check Prime or anything like that, but like I said, I give it a 7 out of 10. So if you can find it, definitely check it out. And make sure to like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.